Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sunday Buys, where we buy crypto every single Sunday. And in today's video, we're spending $300. Now this series has been going on for around 4 months, and the portfolio is currently worth $3,900. And towards the end of the accumulation phase in March, April 2024, I'm hoping the portfolio to be worth $8,000 to $12,000. And in today's video, I want to discuss the potential of each cryptocurrency, my personal bag size goals, and at the end of the video, like we always do, buy some crypto. Also, quick disclaimer, this series is for entertainment purposes only. By no way shall the crypto portfolio influence your decisions. Some of these cryptos will do well and some may not do well. So with that out of the way, I really would appreciate if you would leave a like down below on the video, and let's get straight into it. Okay, so considering market sentiment is nearly at an all-time low, people are selling their crypto or saying that the crypto market is over, I want to share a clip here that not many people are talking about with Pantera Capital CEO Dan Morehead. Now for context, Pantera Capital are the first US institutional asset manager focused on blockchain technology with $3.3 billion worth of assets under management, and their portfolio includes cryptos that we speak about on the channel, such as API. Now in the video, we talked about how the macro, it seems really bad, really bearish at the start, but how crypto, specifically Bitcoin, is in a realm of its own.
I think that equities could come down 23%, or maybe should, just based on historic valuations. Where do you think Bitcoin should be valued?
Yeah, so it's a great question. Is we talk to asset allocators all the time. If you're thinking put money to work in bonds, I think that's pretty dangerous. Put money to work in real estate. Real estate is probably coming off all-time highs. Equities, I think, are overvalued. That does leave a couple of asset classes like real commodities and blockchain. Blockchain is $1 trillion asset class. So most institutions have essentially zero exposure right now. They should, dial it up to a couple percent.
Which gets Bitcoin itself to what level? I mean, if it's 27.7 now.
Well, Bitcoin has a 14-year trend growth of 145% a year. That's kind of my general forecast. It'll just research that, and every year it'll more than double.
Every year it'll more than double.
It's been doing it for 14 years on average, obviously. So some
nothing else close.
If it's digital gold, when does it become like gold and hit a...
And never go up again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. It's like 20 years when everybody has it. Right now, most institutions really have essentially zero exposure, very, very small.
And he talks about in previous interviews that Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain is in a 20-year secular bull market that often gets caught up in cyclical downturns. Every 2 years, more people are using crypto, the price goes up. It's econ 101, supply and demand. In a few years' time, if there's 1 billion people using crypto, regardless of what the S&P 500 is doing, the price is going to increase. Now, could a black swan event happen? Yes, but the whole point of a black swan event is that no one knows when it's going to happen. As long as you aren't invested in shitcoins, projects actually have a future, a use case over the long term, you're probably going to be okay. And that's what this portfolio is based around. Actual real projects with real world value. On screen, you can see the portfolio worth $3,800 and the biggest hold being QNT. And we currently have 16.2 QNT with the goal of being in the turtle positions on the rich list with anywhere from 20 to 30 QNT. Now, why is it number one in the portfolio? Well, blockchain is the future of finance, but it's new, it's costly, it's complex, and there's a lack of enterprise knowledge required. So with that difficulty, bringing it to any financial institution with the lack of common standards, Quant network reduces the friction and makes it easier to integrate into any corporate or enterprise system. And this has been shown with Blockchain, Nexi, and most recently, Project Rosalind with the Bank of England and the Bank of International Settlements. Now, if I focus on QNT as an investment, it is nowhere near all-time lows. It is not a low-cap cryptocurrency anymore, but it is a confident hold, and that's why it's so high in the portfolio. You'll notice as the more we go down, the lower cap they get, you're taking a risk, right? They're not on a tier exchange. You have to go out of your way to buy these cryptos, and there's not that much positive info in the air. You're essentially investing in a startup where the focus is on the players involved, the experience they actually have, and the ideas that they have. So with that being said, we're not buying QNT in today's episode. And next up in the portfolio, we have HBAR. Currently in the public portfolio, we have 16,300, and the long-term goal is to reach, the aim is 50,000 HBAR. Now, similar with QNT, this is a solid investment. And if you like the idea of following big, smart money, look no further than Hedera and look no further than the governing council. And the use cases that are being built are so important. Some examples include recording information through the consensus service, tokenizing energy and carbon credits, and we know eventually everything of value is going to be tokenized. And it's like the transition what we've seen with paper-based storage to databases, now databases to ledgers, more trust where you can buy and sell instantaneously for the fraction of a penny. And a few examples of tokenization on Hedera include fine art, wine, gold, and real estate. Also, with Hedera, the difference with Hedera is that not just the tech is superior, but also the governance. And if you truly understand the terminology of decentralization and centralization, you will understand that Hedera is truly decentralized. The entities are in different countries, you know who they are, they care about the reputation, but most importantly, there is transparency when it comes to the meeting minutes. You know who's attending, and you know what they're talking about. And they have built something that can be trusted for the next 100 years, that 100-year vision. This all being said though, I'm not buying HBAR. Now on to number 3, NXRA. We have 14,600, a long-term goal of the 40,000 to 50,000 ranges, similar to HBAR. And this project, in my opinion, is going to shoot really, really far. For example, is bridging TradFi and DeFi, unlocking new types of assets onto DeFi, and the tokenization of real-world assets, the next era, in my opinion. Now, when we think about investment banks, they have their own infrastructure like commodities, equity, FX, and AllianceBlock have the on-chain data container, an on-chain database that contains metadata, data, identity, but most importantly, can represent any asset, including real-world assets. So they're aiming to be the infrastructure of tokenization. And once again, like HBAR, like QNT, despite all the positive info, I will not be buying NXRA just yet. Moving on to WTK, we have 18,100. I do not know what the long-term goal is, probably anywhere from the 50,000 to 60,000 ranges. It's a really low cap crypto. There's a lot of risk when it comes to this, but that's where the most gains are made. A huge experienced team with experience from Swift, MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Bank of America, endorsed by Algorand, largest merchant acquirer in Saudi Arabia, and endorsed by Nasdaq. And I've actually aped in towards pay on my private portfolio. Nothing too crazy, just a decent bag that I'm going to leave there. When it comes to crypto, when I invest in crypto, I view the money is gone, but even more so with low cap cryptocurrencies, there is a huge risk there, but there's obviously high returns. So that's how I feel about WorldSpin. Pretty decent project, huge potential. If they can pull it off, it will be huge, but I'm not buying any today. Moving on to XDC, I think I have around 6,000 XDC, and it's quite a weird position to be in. It's more of a conservative hold with along there with QNT and HBAR. I don't believe it's going to produce, 100x returns in the bull run like so many low caps on the list. I'm debating selling XDC as it's not going down to the accumulation levels I'm personally happy with, like the 2 cent to 3 cent that I had in the private portfolio. So I think it's just bad timing with XDC and the timing of making this series with this private portfolio. Nothing to do with the project, its actual self. So let me know down below, what projects under a $500 million market cap would you add to the portfolio instead of XDC? And so we won't be buying XDC, but we will be buying API3 and DAG. There's not a huge reason as to why I'm buying them. You can see they're very low in the portfolio, so it makes sense to actually even them out in the portfolio and make it more balanced and too top heavy with QNT, HBAR, and NXRA. Also, I have 2 videos on screen of DAG and API3, a full breakdown of what they are, what they do, and why I actually hold those cryptocurrencies. Now on exchange KuCoin, you can see $300 ready to purchase, 50% into DAG. There we go. Takes quite a while to go through. Then we will go on to API3. Once that loads through, 100% the rest of the amount. Once it finally loads, quite a slow process, buy once again, and there it is finally done. And now the final portfolio is worth $4,185. The progress looks slow right now, but it's because the all-time profit is down, because the DCA entry is getting lower and lower, That's a good thing. You're wanting more bang for your buck. Also, in terms of market sentiment, final statement for the video, as we're approaching the end of the video, I'm seeing a lot of people stating they're selling their crypto or they're thinking of selling. I cannot relate one bit. I think it's also very important to have 10, 20% of your portfolio in cash on the side that you keep for a black swan event, that you keep for in case the situation approaching that we're in the longest bear market in history. You don't know these situations, and for me, it helps as approaching any of the situations, you're ready and you are prepared. When it comes to a bear market, when it comes to the depths of bear market, it's very easy to think it's the last time, or it's the end, or it's not the same this time, or we're never going to see green candles ever again. Just know it takes a month, a couple of weeks of green candles in the market, in BTC, in altcoins, to switch everyone's opinion, and sentiment will change once again. My final message is do your own research, inform your own opinion. So many people say what fits their own narrative. For example, if someone is a perma bear, they probably already cashed out of the market. They're probably 70, 80, 90% cash, where of course they want prices to go down. Of course they're going to be bearish. Of course they want you to sell. Vice versa, if someone is 24/7 bullish, they're probably overexposed, right? They probably got too much money invested into the market. So do your own research, inform your own opinion. But if it's far in the video, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like down below, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one.